Okay, so good afternoon again. So we are now on part 2 of our lecture for today. It's all about measures of variability. By the way, part 1 is uh, more on recapturing what we have discussed last time, no? Regarding measures of central tendency. So let's start with the measures of variability. Okay, what do you mean by measures of variability? It describes the set of scores in terms of their spread or heterogeneity. Yung pagkakalat, okay? Pagka-spread out ng data mo. Okay? Now, why we are doing this, no? Measures of variability, okay? Because there are times kasi that yung ating measures of central tendency is not enough to describe your data or statistics, no? So you need more, okay? So dito na papasok yung measures of variability natin. So again, measures of variability describes, no, the series of data or set of data kung gaano kakalat, no? Gaano sila kalayo sa isa't isa. Okay? Hindi mo kasi pwede gamitan yun ng mean, median, at mode. Okay? So again, class, we are under statistics now. We are tackling descriptive statistics. Okay? Now, can you look at the screen? No? Anybody, especially hindi pa naka-recite class, please recite. No? Okay, dito sa dalawang grupo, okay, yung first group, 951. Second group is 564. Which of the group do you think is more spread out? Anybody? Especially di pa naka-recite class, 43 kayo lahat, tapos yung naka-recite lang, nag-like lang doon, mga 30 plus lang ata. Okay, wala. So I will call somebody. Okay, please participate, class, para hindi tayo boring dito ba. Okay, Charles. Okay. Just try Charles, Vincent. Psycho. Charles, dyan ka pa ba? Wala na. About
951, sir.
Yes, James. James na lang. Which
Group
one?
951. Group 1.
Group 1 is mas spread out. Okay. Bakit mo nasabi, James, na mas spread out ang group 1?
Dili pagkasunod-sunod, sir.
Okay, yun yung basehan, hindi magkasunod-sunod, no? Okay, so let us analyze the two groups, no? Measures of variability, okay? From the word variation, ba? Paano siya nagbabari sa isa't isa? Okay? If we will compare them, okay? Actually, tama yung sagot mo for mag-agree tayo, James, no, that it should be group 1, no? Pero para mas mapadali yung pag-analyze natin, we should have basis in comparing this data, no? So kung ako mag-analyze nito, maybe I will compare the highest data doon sa lowest na data or scores, no? In group 1, ang highest data is 9, okay? Ang lowest is 1. If we will get the difference, that's 8, no? So pwede ko masabi na malayo yung pinakamalaking value doon sa pinakamaliit na value dito. Compare doon sa group 2, compare natin 6 ang pinaka-highest, 4 yung pinaka-lowest, which is the difference na 2, okay? Kasi sa group 2, 2 lang, okay? So doon ako nagbase ng aking answer that mas nagba-vary yung group 1 kaysa group 2 kapag you will compare yung pinaka-highest sa lowest. Okay? So may nag-answer ba ng group 2? Can we hear your reason bakit group 2 yung pinili natin? So wala, nag-agree din ng group 1 lahat, no? Okay. Again, measures of variability give information on the spread or variability of the data values. Okay? Consider this figure. Okay, look at the screen. Okay? Huwag muna tayo magbase dito sa ilalim, class, yung given na quantity dito. Okay? Basihan na lang natin yung picture. Okay? Team 1 at saka team 2. Based sa kanilang mga taas or heights. Sa palagay natin saan dito mas nagbabari sa kanila o nagkakaiba yung kanilang heights. Team 1, team 2.
Team 1, sir.
Okay, Zishar.
Team 1.
Okay, team 1. Bakit team 1? Mas nag-iiba yung yung heights. Ayan, bakit?
Di sila sir. Di sila same sa team 2 na nakapasunod dyan.
Okay. So yung basihan natin is may order siya from lowest to the highest, no? Pero we are talking about heterogeneity, okay? The opposite of heterogeneity is more homogeneity, no? Pare-pareho. So, in terms of pagkakapare-pareho ng heights or pagkakaiba ng heights, okay, saan dito ang mas nagbabari? The same pa din answer natin, Ayan? Team 1 pa rin. Variation.
Opo, sir. Para sa one, sir.
Okay. Para sa iyo. Okay. Meron ba nag-oppose kay Ayan?
Team 2, sir.
Kay Team 2. Bakit Missy? Bakit Grace na Team 2?
Kasi sir, kung hetero, ibig sabihin iba-iba. Ang ginaas mo man sir is pagkakaiba. Tapos malaki man yung interval ng pinakamaliit sa pinakamalaki sir. Like, gisabi mo kanina.
Okay, so nag-agree tayo, no? Actually, I also pick Team 2. Kasi nga, kung titingnan ko visually, kahit hindi ko tingnan yung ilalim, okay, merong maraming variation sa heights ang Team 2. Which is, I'm not saying na, na walang variation sa Team 1, no? Kumbaga, obvious variation ang Team 2. Kasi kung tingnan mo dito, maliit ito siya, ito matangkad. Kung dito ko po titingnan, okay, maliit nga siya dito is matangkad, konti lang yung kanyang difference. Hindi halata in short, no? So visually hindi siya halata. So sa unang tingin siguro, hindi siya spread out. Okay? So here, kung titingnan mo is ang from shortest person to the highest person, the tallest person, halata masyado. Okay? So sa palagay ko din mas spread out ang team 2 because of the reason, no? Okay? So, actually, nag-gets ko yung gusto sabihin ni Ayan, ano lang siguro, no? Na team 1 yung sa kanya. Iba din yung rason niya. Okay? Pero if we're talking about yung obvious na variation, yung pagkakaiba, I think we all agree should be team 2. Kasi nga halata siya nag-increase eh. Okay? Halata nag-increase. Okay? Dito sa team 1, hindi halata eh. Okay? So, kung ano siya, wala siya masyang variation ba? Okay? Sa team 1, kung titingnan mo at kumbaga instantly ba. Okay, so using their quantitative data, okay, nandito sa ibaba class okay, hatiin natin, may imaginary line dito. Okay, so if we will use yung ginawa ko kanina, okay, I pick the highest or the largest datum. This is the tallest person, okay, team 1, which is 78. Okay, the shortest person 72. Okay, you get the difference, that is 6 inches. On the other hand, team 2, okay, the tallest person is 84 inches, the lowest person is 67 inches. You get the difference, I think that's 17 inches. No? So 17 inches is greater than 6 inches. Okay? So therefore, in terms of variation, kapag yun ang ginamit ko na basihan, mas nagva-vary ang team 2. Okay? Okay, let us now proceed to the first measures of variation, which is called range. Okay? When talking about range, we're simply getting the because it's easiest measure variability. Why? Because we're just simply getting the difference between the highest and the lowest score. Okay? Ibig sabihin yun yung ginamit natin kanina na to differentiate ba saan doon na mas nagva-vary. Okay? So range, yung tawag doon. Okay? So let's range tayo. Example, set of scores. Okay, 7276562. Compute for the range, please. Anybody, especially hindi pa naka-recite class? Kung naka-recite kayo bago lang, hindi kayo naka-like sa picture, please like the picture. Anybody, just raise your hand. Unahin mo natin yung hindi pa naka-recite class. I want to give you 10% sa recitation. Okay, wala. So naka-recite na lahat, no? So anybody is open to all. Okay. Can I ask Christian Del Sabod? Christian? Nandiyan ka pa, Christian? Wala na, unattended na. About Castro, Arthur, please solve for the range. Range simply means the difference between the highest score and the lowest score. Arthur? Nawala yung tao, natulog.
5, sir.
Salamat
5,
naman
sir.
may sumagot. K5, very good, no? The highest score is 7, lowest score is 2. You get the difference, the answer is 5. Ganun lang kadali yung range class, no? Okay, since nandiyan ka na, Arthur, no? What do you think is the obvious disadvantage of the range? Any idea? Disadvantage ng range?
Kapag po, sir, multiple yung highest or lowest.
Kapag multiple, This, aside from that, no, ano yung palagay mo yung obvious na disadvantage? Okay? Remember, kapag kinuha na natin, for example, ito, kinuha natin ng range, no? So we get the highest 70, 78, lowest 72. Get the difference 6. Okay, here, highest is 84, okay? Lowest is 67. Sa palagay mo, author, meron bang disadvantage?
Ang mapansin ko sir, ano lang siya, kanang dali lang gud siya makalculate. So, hindi siya, kanang it does not use all the observation in the data set. Parang ganun. Kasi yung kinukuha mo lang is yung lowest and highest. So, hindi nagagamit yung iba.
Okay, very good. Okay, very good. That's a correct answer, no? Because you're disregarding the rest of the data. You only, kumbaga, importante lang yung highest is 7 and lowest is 2. Okay? If you will apply that in real world, for example, ano kayo pakiramdam ng estudyante? For example, nag-quiz kayo, no? For example, one of your professor nagbigay ng 100 points na quiz. O, tinawag niyo yung ang highest. So, highest, 100, naka-perfect. Lowest, ay, wala nag-study. 3 points lang, 3 over 100. So, the difference is around 97, no? So, baliwala na lang yung in between nun, baliwala. So, hindi siya natawag, hindi siya na-mention, hindi siya na-comment, no? Eh, parang napahiya pata yung pinaka-lowest, no? So, kumbaga, nadi-disregard mo yung the rest of the data, no? That's the main disadvantage of the range. Okay, so if I ask you, meron bang kinalaman sa ating sa realidad ang range? Okay, yes, meron, no? Meron ba? Civil engineering students, meron? May application ba ang range sa inyo? Frances, range, sir, kay di lahat ng terms kabase doon. Okay, yun nga, no? Wala kang microphone, Frances? Wala? Okay, anybody, meron bang gamit yung range sa buhay nyo? Ginagamit nyo? Wala. Okay? Obviously, ang average, gamit na lang average, no? Okay? Mode, gamit din. Kasi minsan, ano madalas na sinasakyan ng estudyante papuntang Notre Dame? Okay, napapaisip tayo, tricycle ba, private vehicle, jeep ba, van, or bus? That's mode. Okay? Need yan. Okay? Bay, ano lang ko, bay? Happy na ko, ana. Matunga-tunga ko, ana, score na ko ba? Happy na ko, ana. Mid yan. Okay? Na-apply natin yun sa buhay natin, eh. But the range, ma-apply natin, hindi.
Sir, sir, yung pagbili ng mga materials, tapos i-compare mo sila. Kung
Pwede, no?
yung prices.
Eh, anong yung pinakamataas na presyo? You're talking about the maximum value, kino-compare mo. Okay, so huwag ka pupunta doon sa pinakamataas magbigay ng presyo. Okay, maybe doon sa pinakamaliit, no? Okay? So maybe you compare, example, na-compare nyo, nabili nyo na, mahal pala doon, tapos dito mura, i-compare nyo. Okay? Laki naman lugi ko, di ba? Parang ganun comment natin ba? Lugi ko gano ba? Mas barato dito. Lugi ko mga 20, magana. So, yung concept na yun is applicable din sa range, no? Because we're comparing yung highest dun sa lowest ba? Yeah. Yeah, class. Huwag nyo like compare, no? Kung nakabili kayo dun sa kabila, huwag na kayo mag-ikot pa. Ang uso yan sa sa oval dati, no? Yung sa mga tsanggi, good. Okay, so that's correct, no? 5. Okay, so the range here is 6, nasa ilalim yung answer, and 17. Okay? Now, since disadvantage yung range, kasi nga disregard yung ibang data scores, dito napapasok yung isa. Okay, dalawa lang measures of variability natin. Okay, we have the range and variance, the slash standard deviation. Slash ko to palagi is because yung variance at saka standard deviation, they're related. Because standard deviation, you just need to get the square root of the variance. Okay? Now, how to solve for the variance and standard deviation? First, we need to consider the deviation. Now, deviation means, okay, the meaning of deviation is you just need to get the difference between the average and each data entry, okay, or each scores or data doon sa given. Okay, kunin mo lang yung difference nila. Okay, again, difference between the average at saka yung given doon is score ba yan o datum. Okay, so example natin dito yung height ng team 1. Okay, may height sila na 72, 73, 76, 76, 78, no? This is team 1, no? If you're asked to solve for the standard deviation and variance, okay, kailangan mo ng deviation. Again, deviation is the difference between the average at saka yung kanyang each na data or score sa the given. So in short, kailangan mong kunin yung average, no? You add all, that's 375. You divide the number of players, no? 5. Plus, ano lang ha, please be careful with the sign na dapat gamitin. Now, since this is basketball team, okay, tama ba? Ilang players yung kailangan maglaro sa basketball kada team? Ilan? 5 daw? I'm not fan of basketball. I'm more on
5, sir.
5. So, ibig sabihin, lahat na yung sila doon. Pag sinabi na natin totality or lahat, okay, population dapat yon, no? So, in short, the symbol na gagamitin dapat mu, not X bar, ha? Okay? May mag-comment sa inyo, sir. Daghan ng players dito sa basketball, sir. Mga ano na, mga sub lang yan sila. Kumbaga, kung may 5 ka lang talaga na players, tuloy ang games, no? Mga sub lang yan sila ba yung pwede ipalit ba? Kung gusto magpag-swap, okay? Okay, so ano tayo? Na-agree tayo that should be population, no? Kasi mag-matter to sa ating formula later, okay? Again, to solve for the deviation, kasi kailangan ng deviation dun sa formula later. Again, kunin mo natin yung average. The average is 75. So to get the deviation, okay, deduct that always from each of the datum here, okay? To get -3, 72, which is the datum here, score here, or height here, minus the average. Okay? 73 minus 75, 76 minus 75, the same. And last is 78 minus 75. Okay? Just get the difference. So fix nito lahat, always ang subtrahend dito class should be your average. No? Now, to check if your answer in deviation is correct or not, dapat palagi daw siyang equal sa 0. Okay? In all times, in all situations, class, no? That the summation of deviation should always be equal to 0. Kaya pag inad natin to lahat, okay, -3 plus -2, and so on and so forth, that will give you 0. Okay? That's one way to check kung tama yun yung deviation or not. No? What if nagbigay ako ng 10 dito? How will you check kung tama o mali? I-add nyo lang, dapat equal to 0. Okay, so next. Population variance, okay? Again, I will give emphasis to the population variance. Okay, yan ang formula niya. Okay? Summation of the squares of the deviation. Remember, this is deviation, no? Divided by capital N. Okay, why capital N? Kasi nga population. Okay? So, this is sigma, no? Sigma squared. Okay, sigma squared. May squared yung sa taas class, no? So, if you're asked to solve for the variance, population variance, okay, we should continue the table. Okay, third natin na column is square natin ng division. No? -3 squared will give you +9. Okay, -2 squared will give you +4. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, we need to add the squares of summation. Why? It's because nasa formula class, no? Nandito siya sa formula. I-add mo daw dapat. Okay, kaya yung SS dyan, ang meaning yan is sum of squares, no? SS means sum of squares, no? Oh, sir, may way ba para malaman namin kung tama o mali yung sum of squares? Wala ba ya, class? Kailangan nyo be careful kayo dito. Dito pa lang careful na kayo, no? So, walang way para malaman natin ito na mano-mano. So, after that, you can proceed na substituting dun sa formula, okay? Because you're asked here for population variance. So, okay, the values dun sa denominator is 24 divided by 5. Use your calculator, the answer is 4.8 inches squared. No? Squared, meron tayong squared palagi dun sa units. No? Kasi nga, population variance. If you're asked to solve for the standard deviation, all you need to do is to get the square root. Para matanggal itong square dito, get the squared both sides of the equation. That will give you 2.19. No? Square root of 4.8. Okay? 2.19. Okay? Okay, so next. This is example of formula of standard deviation. You just need to get the square root both sides. No? Okay, another example here. Okay, find the population variance standard deviation of team 2. Team 2 na ito, no? Again, you first get the average. Nagkataon na pareho yung average ng team 1 at team 2. So after that, okay, you get the difference, okay, between each datum here and the average, no? So 67 minus 75 will give you negative 8. 72 minus 75 will give you negative 3. 76 minus 75 will give you 1. Okay, 1 din dito, that's the same. Then 84 minus 75 will give you 9. Okay, you try to add, I told you, that should equal to 0. Okay, so 0 dapat, no? So after nyan, you need to get the squares of the deviation. Okay, negative 8 squared will give you 64, negative 3 squared will give you 9, and so on and so forth. No? So after that, you will need to get the summation of the squares of the deviation. It's 156. Okay, after that, you put that in your formula. Okay, 156. Okay, ang formula sabi is should be capital N. So there are 5 players, no? Divided 5. Okay, 31.2 inches squared. Okay, since you're asked for the standard deviation, okay, you need to get the square root of both sides of the equation to get rid of your square here. Okay, so the answer for the standard deviation is 5.59 inches. Okay, so that's how to solve for your standard deviation. Now, if you're asked which one is more nagva-vary, okay, saan mas kalat, basihan natin is standard deviation. Okay. Now, this team 2 is 5.59. Ang team 1 is 2.19. Hindi lang nakita, class, no? Basta that's 2.19. No? So, in short, in terms of standard deviation, nagbabari pa rin si team number 2. Okay? Sa range, team number 2 pa rin siya. Okay, kindly absorb na lang, class. Okay? I will send to you sa GC kung may question kayo. Okay, first natin is send ko muna yung actually nasa Moodle na class, no? I-send ko lang sa GC natin, class, para makita nyo ba. Ipaki-observe muna, class, ha? Okay, this one is population variance. Forward. Okay, paano siya nakuha? Okay. And this is another one. Isa-send ko. Okay, so this is example number 2. Okay, population variance. Okay, so I'm done with the population variance at standard deviation, class, no? I hope walang question. Please absorb how to solve it. Okay, so next is the population variance and standard deviation, but this time sample. Okay, now kapag sample yung given, okay, ito yung formula. As you can see, nag-iba, instead of sigma, it's S. Instead of x squared, mu I mean, it's x squared. Remember, x squared, I told you a while ago, it's sample, mean, or average, no? Then divided by n minus 1. Kasi nga sample, small n. Okay? Kaya lang we need to get the degrees of freedom. Dinideduct natin sa 1, it's because that is called degrees of freedom, no? Okay, so example tayo. Example, send ko na lang kagad sa ating GC class. Ito yung kapag sample yung given, no? So, paano namin malaman kung sample or population? Usually given sa problem, nakalagay population. Okay? So, use the formula yung capital N sa baba. Class, okay, huwag i-interchange, no? Kapag sample, N minus 1 yung sa baba. Okay, this is example of ayan, okay? So, open natin. You can look at the screen, no? Example, no? So, for the standard deviation, okay, sample. Ang example ko kasi dito, class, okay, don't be confused with the example sa sample, okay? Iba din yung sample na meaning sample na binibigay as ano ba? For example, yung sa shampoo na sample, no? Yung sample dito sa statistics is the part of the population. Kasi ito ginawa ko sa kabilang klase. So, I asked the students, no? And for example, may klase ako na 30 students. Tapos nagbigay ako ng quiz, let's say out of, no, hindi pala, height pala ito. Okay? There are 30 students, so kumuha lang ako ng limang estudyante, randomly, so kinunan ko ng data. So tinanong ko, anong height mo? So one student said that 64 inches, sir. Another student said it's 68 inches, sir. Hanggang nakalimang estudyante ako. So I told you a while ago, it's a size of 30 students. So part lang siya ng 30 students, so automatically that makes that sample, okay? Or small n. So in short, kapag kinuha natin yung average dito, it should be x bar. Because x bar means sample ng mean or average. Okay, mu is the average of the population, no? So to get the average of the sample size ng 5 students, okay, just need to add and divide it by 5. The answer is 62.4. Okay? Now, next procedure is to get the deviation, the same procedure with the population variance and standard deviation. Okay, just get the difference between your average. So ilagay mo, subtrahin ka agad yung average dito. And dito sa gilid, kopyahin mo lang ito na given dito. Okay? So get the difference. Okay, the answer is 1.6, 5.6, negative 4.4, and so on and so forth. If you get the summation, dapat equal to 0. You try with your calculator class, no? Dapat equal to 0. 0 daw. And after that, since nasa formula, ito yung formula sa gilid, sa taas, the same with the population variance standard deviation, you need to get the square of each deviation, no? So square of 1.6 squared is 2.56. No? 5.6 squared will give you 31.36, okay, and so on and so forth. Then you need to add, kasi nasa formula, you need to add, no? Then ito yung pagkakaiba talaga ng formula dun sa population variance or standard deviation, yung ilalim niya. Okay? It should be n minus 1. Since there are 5 students here, minus 1. Okay? That is why, instead of 5 dito, magiging 4. Okay? Substitute lang natin, class, no? Ayan. Nag-diretso na ako dito ng standard deviation because ang required dito is standard deviation. Pag tinatanong ko yung variance, dapat may answer kayo sa taas ng variance, no? Okay, so after you substitute all the given, the answer is, okay, 22.30. Okay, you need to get the square root. Okay, the answer is 4.72 inches. Okay, so that's how to solve for the standard deviation, okay, population, and sample. Okay, now, class, since we are on virtual, okay, please, we'll take the advantage ba, no, to teach you how to use the Excel. For those students na gadget lang is phone, it's not compulsory, it's optional, no? Kasi gusto kong estudyante ko matuto agad ng Excel, no? Kasi ito talagang hinahanap kapag nagtatrabaho tayo, no? Yung inyong skills sa computer. Okay, we'll open the Excel. Okay. Answeran natin yung first. Okay. Nandyan pa ba kayo, class? Helen, nandyan pa kayo, no? Mabalang tao. I hope okay
Yes,
pala
sir.
pa kayo. Okay, so for students na merong gadget, example, PC or laptop, you take advantage of learning Excel. Okay, the given here is 72, okay, 73, 76, 76, 78. Okay, I will enlarge. Okay, total. Okay, double click. Okay, just double click this side of the Excel. Double click. Okay, 75. Then average. You make a formula here, no? In the cell, no? Just press equal sign. Then go to that cell na merong data ng total divided by 5. Okay, the answer should be 75, no? And after that, okay, you make the column for the deviation. Again, class, this was only for checking purpose only, ha? Bawal kayo gumamit na Excel sa quiz sa exam. Okay. Kung may time pa, you can check, no? Okay, so you make a formula here, okay? 72 minus 375. Okay? Pag ginawa ko to, nandiyan yung IT natin. Helen. Anong mali to, Helen? Ano ko lang sa'yo, kung anong mali dito. Pakipinpoint anong mali daw dito. Wait lang, may mali talaga dito. Okay. Ikaw ito yung example ng formula dito, class. No? Again, this is only for checking purpose. No? Then minus the average. No? Okay, negative 3. Kapag binira ko ito, minsan may pag-drag, you will drag this cell. Okay? You wait na mag-change ito sa solid na cross. No? You click the left bottom of your mouse, you hold, then you drag that pababa. Ibig sabihin, it will copy the formula. Okay? As you can see, hindi siya tama. No? Anong mali ito, Helen? Anybody? Yung
Sa cell ata, sir. Yung
okay, the first cell, no?
sir.
Yes, Jan. Please share
Wala
your
pong
knowledge.
wala pong absolute reference.
Okay, very good. Okay. Lagyan mo dapat to ng absolute dito. Okay, this is a command tab. Okay, F4, no? F4 ba? F4, no? You press F4. Okay, negative 3. Okay. That's how to do it, no? Now, kung nakakalimutan nyo regarding this, make it absolute o maging string ba tawag din, nakalimutan ang term, Helen. You're an IT, Helen, so mas familiar mo yung term dito. Kapag hindi kayo sigurado, okay, huwag nyo na lang gawa ng formula itong may dollar sign dito. Ang gawin yung absolute or constant yung inyong subtrahend dito. So, that is equal to this value minus i-constant natin 75, no? Ayan. Okay, na-constant na yung subtrahend mo. Okay, try natin siya. Delete muna. Tapos, ayan. Okay, tama pa rin. Okay? Kasi mali kasi yun kapag nagdiretso tayo. For example, this value, okay, equal muna tayo. Then this value minus, okay, ito dito. Okay? Ayan, mali talaga siya. Kasi ang Excel, nalilito. Okay? Kasi ang next na i-deduct dito, itong blanco dito sa baba, itong blanco sa baba, okay, 73, 76 yan, so may 0. So, kailangan mo siyang i-instruct yung Excel mo na gawin mo siyang, nakalimutan ko yung term dito ba? Basta you press F4, ulagyan mo ng dollar sign sa gitna ng letters at saka ng numbers, no? By pressing F4. Okay? And after that, okay, tama na yung formula, and that's the time you need to drag that bababa. Kung nakalimutan nyo yung instruction, okay, why not make it constant, no? Instead of this, my dollars, gawin mo 75. Okay, so as you can see, pareho yung answer. So after that, okay, auto-sum tayo, no? Or just copy the formula here. Okay, go to that cell na may formula. Okay, igalaw-galaw yung cursor ng inyong mouse. Tapos kapag nag-solid ng cross, you click the left bottom of your mouse, you hold, then you drag that to the right side. As you can see, that will give you the formula which is to add. No? So, kung hindi kayo convinced, okay, delete natin. Go to that cell. Okay, auto-sum tayo. 0 pa rin. No? Then the square of the deviation, dev raised to the power of 2. Okay, all you need to do is to go to that cell na may value ng deviation nyo. Okay, first make a formula equal. Then go to that cell na merong value in deviation. Shift 6, then 2. Raise to the power of 2. An equal sign. And after that, since may formula ka na dito, okay, galawin ng cursor, okay, mag-change to ang solid na cross, you click the left bottom of the mouse, you drag pababa. Okay? And after that, you get the summation, no? By copying the formula here, okay, pwede yan, 24, or with delete, okay, auto-sum, 24 pa rin. Okay? So after nito, the formula said that you need to divide the sum of squares here, which is 24, divided by the number of, since this is population, 5, no? This is 5 players in given. So this is the variance. Okay, the standard deviation, okay, lagyan ko ng population class, pwede ka malito. Here, you need to get the square root, no? Square root. Okay? By pressing equal sign, hanapin niyo yung command sa Excel na SQRT, then click that command, then go to that value ng variance, then press enter. So as you can see, the answer is 2.19, the same. Okay? Now, may madali pang paraan actually, no? For example, sa average, ang average, kay merong command sa Excel, just press equal sign, tapos average. Click that command, you go to the first na data or datum. Okay, you click the left button of the mouse, you highlight all, you enter. Okay, the answer is 75, no? Now, mas madali pa talaga dito sa Excel, using the command sa variance, no? Equals, you go to the, you press or enter var. Okay, var means variance, no? P. Okay, yan, P. Si population, eh. Okay. Go to the data given, okay, by highlighting the data, no? How to highlight again, you press the left button of the mouse, okay, you hold, then you drag. Enter is enter after. So as you can see, pareho yung answer, no? 4.8. The standard deviation, okay, STDF, okay, P. Go to the given, okay, by pressing the left button of the mouse, you click, okay, you hold, then you highlight, you drag, no? Enter. The answer is the same. Ganun lang kasimple how to check using the Excel, no? Okay. The other one, ano ba yung isa plus? Yung isa is kay eto, no? So this is sample. Okay. Just be careful lang, class. Kapag mali yung ginamit na formula, iba talaga ang answer niya. Okay. Try natin kung ano kaiba. For example, this one is given as population. No? Nagkamali kayo mag-answer using the formula ng sample. And you look at the difference. No? Kapag variance yung hinahanap, okay, maklik niyo yung S, variance sa sample, which is wrong, no? Kasi population ito. Okay. Look at the difference. 4.8. Okay, this one, okay, S yung press or gamit nyo na formula yung sa sample. Okay, look at the difference. Okay, layo talaga, no? So please be careful. Okay, kapag given is population, use the formula for population. Okay, next, okay, here, how to check this. Okay, 64, 68, 58, 65, 57. Okay. Our answer using the calculator, okay, is 4.72. Okay. Using the Excel, ganito mag-check class, ha? Equals STDF. Since this is sample, I will press I will choose this formula S, no? Sample. Okay. Then go to the first datum. You click the left button of your mouse, click, you hold, no? Will be T1. Okay. Nakaklik pa rin yan. Tapos you drag. Okay. Birahin pababa. And after that, enter. The answer should be 4.72. Let us check, no? Ayan. They're the same. Okay? So I'm done. Okay,